This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can also send me an email to steve@a2zhistorypage.com or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time beyond the big screen.
It was mostly, I hate to disappoint, but it was mostly just the suburban, boring, normal growing up. When I was born, my mother was already very famous. So I didn't know her as anything else. And she was just who she was. I didn't know a difference. That's what my mother did for a living. Yeah, she was a famous person. She was a performer. She was an artist. She was creative. So there weren't so much famous people who showed up. There were a lot of other creative people, because I do think creative people tend to, mingle with each other, because there's a different level of living, of understanding, of processing things that other creatives kind of get. But yeah, it was just sort of my mother took me to school, every day when she wasn't, when we were back in Los Angeles. She took me to school. She took me to, whatever after school activity or before school activity. I was ice skating for a while, so that was often early in the morning before school. And she would get up and, 5 a.m, and, make me my breakfast, and off we would go. And that's how we really did live our lives.
Totally. Look, it's exactly the same thing that happens now, because you want to build a new convention center in town. The first thing that people say is, well, why are we investing $500 million building a convention center when we still have food banks? That's one of the classic dilemmas of urban development is, you want to build a huge infrastructure project, but how do you justify the amount of money that is going to take? And, whereas nowadays there are all sorts of fancy ways to look at the sort of cost benefits of such projects. In the 17th century, that didn't exist. The Pope said, I want a new square, and that's that. But, there was a lot of popular discontent, and unsurprisingly, a lot of people were unable to take the long view. They didn't think, oh, well, this will be great because 25 years from now we'll have more pilgrims. They just thought, actually, we'd like the money now. And a previous pope, the wonderfully named Pope Innocent X, for example, who built the most beautiful fountain in Rome, the Fountain of the Four Rivers, he unveiled this huge fountain, and it created a popular chant. The people were chanting "Pane, pane, non fontane," which was bread, bread, not fountains. So the conflict between urban beautification and urban aggrandizement and meeting the needs of the common people is one of the oldest conflicts in the book.